Hi, Pantalina and Sheepishness. And I got my cool mug. Oh, it's like, why does it do that? I've got to get a better system for this. The freaking out of the camera is not cool. Hey, everybody. Hey. How are y'all doing? Happy Saturday. I hope you got to sleep in. I hope you have slept in. I think most of you are ahead of me in time. But some of you mind, like in Australia, even though you're ahead almost an entire day. Hey. Oh, we got Jer, we got Layla, we got Brittany Ann and Sarah G. And Sean, of course, and Aaron.
I'm not here.
I'm not here. Sophie Joe. Hey, Brooke. Hey. And Janelle. So Sean won't be able to stay the whole time. He has to work today. So there's that. So he has to leave. He's filming later this afternoon, and so he'll leave. Oh, thanks, Angelica. Woo. So he'll be here for what, a half hour?
About an hour.
Okay, about an hour then. Almost the whole time. Hey, Sadie girl. And Rachel P. And I saw Carrie's and Melinda. Hey, Maggie. Hey. So I'm doing good. I have weird. Okay, so a couple things. So first of all, the doorbell is ringing off the hook for no reason, and somebody had said that their dad told me that oh, hey, Madison, she's asking how we're doing. I pulled the thing off of it. If you follow me on Snapchat, I think I always forget what I put on it, Insta stories or Snapchat. To get the full story, I think you have to watch both because I just toggle back and forth. I don't really know what the difference is. I still don't know what to put on one versus the other. But I pulled off the thing. Ooh, we got Junebug as a new subscriber. Pulled off the thing to see how I could change the frequency because her, her dad had said to change the frequency. Oh, hey, Helen from Asia. Woo. I smash it with the hammer. Exactly, Brooke. So I pulled the thing off. Thanks, Xlip. And, oh, perfect, Madison. She just followed me on Snapchat. So I pulled it off, and I don't see anything to change the frequency or do anything. I don't know if you guys saw it. It was just like a little, it almost looks like the thing in a computer, not the hard drive, but what's that thing? Like a chip? I don't know. Just one of those little boards, with all the little connectors.
The motherboard.
Yeah. Ooh, Nevada Sparkles is here. Yay. I think it is my neighbors. And so anyway, all those things go out to different areas to like make it work, I guess, and then there's batteries and that's it. And there's no like to change the frequency. There's no anything. The circuit board. That's the word, Jenna. That's the word. You can tell I'm very. Oh, I don't. Thanks, Srupta Kumar. How do we say that? Let me know in the chat. Oh, okay.
I was checking to see
That's okay.
Some people were saying that it was having an issue, so.
Oh, you guys can hear me and see me okay? Hey, and Alfalba and Jennifer is here.
What
Ooh!
is
Somebody,
Leia?
I feel like turn the music on. We're rocking out.
Okay.
Oh, it's gonna take a second, Layla. Thumbs up again. Woo. It is cutting out. Somebody says. Oh. Hey, Catherine. There we go. We got. Okay. A minute. Our DJ's doing a lot of things back there.
Sorry,
Thanks, Moonlight Laura. Okay, it is cutting out, but not so bad. I'm the same place. I mean, you guys know. I'm at the same place that I was. Oh, hey, Twitter Joe. Woo. She's just subscribed. Thanks, Layla. And we have two Laylas, and they're both pronounced Layla, right? If that's not true, let me know. But I'm glad you guys were. Oh, this is a Hufflepuff cup because I took the test, and it wasn't the Pottermore test, but I took the test, and I was a Hufflepuff. And Charlie was like, you have to take the real test. You have to go here. And then I was a Ravenclaw. And so Jennifer sent me a bunch of different things. And Twitter Joe, woo. I have a bunch of my Ravenclaw / Hufflepuff. I have a Ravenclaw decal. I put it on my journal thing. Oh, see, why does it do that? You guys.
We need to use a different device.
I think I'm going to have to not be on my computer anymore.
I think you should do it for the computer.
It was doing so fine before. But, oh, Wascally's tired. You had a long day at work. I'm sorry. At least you're done, right? Work is over.
Or in your cup, maybe you're light and slammed it.
That's a good thought. You guys are so smart. So anyway, so that's the news about the doorbell. I know you've been waiting with that is baited to learn about it.
In today's news, doorbells suck.
Ooh. I don't know. Sean's got something playing there.
Oh, no, it was you.
Oh, thanks, Emily.
We are shitting the bed on this one.
Sean needs more. Ooh, UK people. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, I have my Harry Potter and you got bat. That's perfect. It's still cutting out. I don't know what to... It says I'm like right next to the router. It says that we're good. Oh, my favorite book at the moment. I'm actually... There are two things. I'm reading the Tidying Up book, right? And taking a break from the one somebody sent me. I'm forgetting the author. Do you guys remember what it was? I'd have to look. I'm going to look on my Insta so I can see that the author's name. I think it starts with a T. But they sent me... It's like... Not Harry Potter-esque. Sean, what you... Sean is just... He's at a casino right now. He's doing the casino. The free spin. It's the Terry Pratchett, The Color of Magic. Pew! Oh, see, it is the reflection. I tried to show you my phone and it hated it. Why?
We're just tanking this.
Guys, we're just... I'm sorry. We'll get it together, I promise. Just give us a minute. Patience, patience. So far, loving it, Carries, yes. But I'm only like 80 pages in, and then I got distracted to read that Tidying Up book, which I think I'm going to do today, because Sean's going to work, and I think if we do our clothes together, it'll be overwhelming. Has anybody read it? I know a lot of people have... sorry, Adam, the strobing has gone away. Hopefully it will not return. I won't show my phone, or I don't know what it is. It's just like the kid's sensitive and then freaks out. But yes. So anyway, so yeah, I've been doing that, reading both of those books kind of simultaneously. If you haven't read the Tidying Up, ooh, Danny subscribed. Woo, woo, woo. I know, I'm sorry. I hope nobody has epilepsy out there. I do my best. Okay, so anyways, yeah, the folding method, Angelica, yes. Okay, so if anybody's read the woman's last name, I think is Kado or something, Kado. Anyway, she talks about how to properly fold things. You guys fucking blew my mind. So, but I'll get into questions. I'm sorry. Just going to share with you a little tidbit because...
Why would someone want this book, Katie?
You'd want this book...
Some people may not.
Okay, so the book is like the art, the life-changing art of or something like that. And I struggle to get rid of clothing because I'm like, wait, I spent a lot of money on it, and, you know, I got such a good deal, or like it fits well, even though I really don't like it, or something, you know, or my mom gave it to me and I can't get rid of it, or anything. There's all sorts of reasons, right? And so I get slowly accumulated so much shit that I literally can't see my clothes that I want or shoes that I want to wear. And last week I was like, oh my God, I have a pair of black boots ever been worn. And I remember I got them on eBay for $40 and I was like, this is the deal of the century. But I don't fucking wear it. So my goal is to be able to put everything in one closet versus the two I've got, so that I can see the clothes. Oh my God. I don't know. What? Maybe we turn the light down? I don't know. Anyway, and see my clothes and be able to dress myself properly. Oh, Letitia Lovejoy's here. Woo, woo, woo. And so, yeah, that's really my goal. And so that's why I got, and then the folding, you guys, folding chapter, because one of my biggest pet peeves is t-shirts, because first of all, you like squish them down to shut the drawer, and then when I pull one out, it pulls the other ones around it out, right? And like fucks up now, and you're like, damn it. But the folding thing is you fold them in a rectangle so you can see all the edges, and they sit in almost like you're filing them. Mind blown. Oh, hey, Jessica, new subscriber. So anyway, the folding is amazing, and I think it's going to change my life, and I'll keep you all along on Snapchat / Insta stories. Both of them are Kati Morton 1. To see how good to put all of my clothes in one room and then go through them. And yeah, so that's what's been going on with me. Oh, thanks, Keely. Keely's here. Woo, woo, woo. Okay. It's not a full book of folding, Beth. Okay. Sean says I'm talking too loud. It's not a full book of folding. It talks about, I mean, first of all, he's really into cleaning up and really into tidying. I know, Brooke, the struggle is real. Ooh, April E. 20 new subscribers. Woo, woo. Honey, go in the other room. He seems to be agitated by my excitement.
No, it's not that. Like,
Ooh, Alicia Marie. Yeah, of course you can ask a question. basket in the, oh, Wascally agrees, the best way to fold t-shirts, you guys. So anyway, so the book is more about, like, how life-changing it can be to not have all this garbage in your house that doesn't bring you joy and you don't want. So, yes, and Ariel, I will. I'll tell him to stop hating. Ooh, is that Kalesia? Am I saying that right? Let me know. I'm sorry, it's skipping, Jennifer. Maybe shut it down and come back and see if that helps. Okay. Yay. Woo, woo, woo. Okay. So let's see if anybody has a question. But anyway, so the book sounds really great. I'm going to let you know, follow along. I'll let you can see me pull all of my garbage out that I don't use. Ooh, hey, Dawn to Dusk. Woo, woo, woo. The guest list. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I'll keep you posted. Follow along. We'll see if it changes my life. I'll show you before and after. So I'll do like videos of my closets right now. Just be nice because I'm doing my best. Yes, I have been trained in DBT. I just barely caught that question. Yes, I had to do a course. I went to a con it, and then I also did an online, like I had to take these tests because part of one of my jobs required it to be through this certain accreditation. And so I had to do it online and take all these exams. It took me like 2 or 3 weeks of doing that. So yeah, I am a certified DBT therapist. Ta-da! Okay. Let's see. Oh no, Ava. Ava said she had a bad relapse yesterday, forced her to the hospital. I'm so sorry. I hope you're feeling better today, and know that was lost. We're all gonna have our slip-ups. We're all gonna, struggle from time to time. And, I think knowing that not all is lost, you're not back at square one is the most important thing. Get back up. We can do it again. You have the support of our community. Everything's gonna, okay? Aaron's asking, do I prefer hot yoga or just regular yoga? Regular yoga. I tried hot yoga for a while and I got sick a lot. I think that's not good for your body. I'm not a doctor, but it was not good for me. Okay, Keely, yeah, and Wascally agree. Yeah, hot yoga is terrifying. Oh, and Shashari had asked if I'm done with videos with Alexa, and yes, we filmed 5 together. There is one more that I would like to do with her about shame that we've talked about, but we don't have a date that we're getting together to film it. Yeah, but I really like Alexa. I mean, we're actually friends, and we, hang out and everything, and so I just really enjoy her company. She's a great person. She's a really wonderful therapist, and I'll have another video that we'll do at some point because I think shame is really important to talk about. And so she's been doing a lot of stuff on that. And yeah, so there'll be more, but right now just those 5 and we're all done for now. Okay, Lee says, what's the difference between really strong and clear memories and flashbacks? I think the difference is that flashbacks actually feel like it's happening again. A memory is something we can kind of go in and out of in our head, and we're just remembering and we're putting ourselves there. But a flashback is like, I feel like I'm in it. It's happening over again. So that would be the distinction that I would. Let me know, Keely, if that's not as clear, as I think it is in my head. I want to make sure it makes sense. Okay. I know the heat. It's crazy, but some people love. It is basically yoga and a sauna. Oh, hopeful for live videos on the whiteboard, like the bipolar video. I definitely could. Our whiteboard's actually right over here. I've been using it to keep up with all of my to-dos and things. And my goals. I put my goals on it because then I visualize it. I put down the collabs I'm doing and the collabs I want to do. I talk about what my daily to-dos are, like approving comments. Yeah, so right now that's what's on the whiteboard. I'm looking because it's right there. And then I have my notes about Patreon. Oh, by the way, I've heard from on Patreon letting me know if you want it in the $50 range. If you're above $40, I gave you the option of getting a t-shirt. And many of you have responded. I'm going to message you guys back because I'd filled out the thank you cards already, acting like you're getting the gift of the month. And so I'm like, ooh, I'll write on the outside, enjoy the t-shirt. I had fun making it and stuff. I'm sorry. I thought I'd heard back from everybody, and then I heard from a few of you today. And I'm like, oh, I did it last night. So anyways, yes. So let's see. Let's do some questions, and let's guess somebody here real quick. Jennifer, you said that you were waiting. Let's see if we can get you on. And then we can see if you can get off and on if it's still jumpy and,
Hey!
Hey, how's it going?
I did have a question. Carly told me to guess, so. Yeah, Carly got got into that. I was curious, how do you know, Jen's the unicorn, if grounding skills aren't working, what can you do?
Have you tried various ones? Because I know there's a lot of different types.
I've done distracting, I've done playing games on my phone, I've done music, long list of them.
Okay, because the ones that, when I talked with Alexa, I don't remember, she talked about having a video of someone that you like can make eye contact with and you can hear them, and like sucky candies and stuff like that, like kind of helping self-soothe and like bring us down. Those are two that help my clients who, when nothing else is really helping. But there are also, and I don't know, because you live in California like me, right?
I can't hear you, cut out.
Oh, sorry, I said you live in California, right?
Yeah, I'm in California.
And there are, might be something that you look into, but there are like, maybe when you're out of school for a portion, like there are day programs for like trauma/dissociation, if that's what the struggle is like it's so hard to stay present. I just like, I dissociate with
I've
body.
actually looked into it, and there's nothing in my town.
Oh,
I drive 90 minutes to go see my social worker.
Oh yeah, that's right, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, it might, because that's something that I refer my clients to. If nothing else is helping, then we look into like some day treatment programs and things like that. If there is like an inpatient where you can stay there, covers it, you could do that for like a month or two to see if that helps, like maybe over the summer or whenever you have a break, since you're to travel during the day. But try some of the ones that I talk about with Alexa and see if those help, and like putting together the resiliency box and seeing if any of those things help, because sometimes the things we talk about the most aren't the ones that work for you, and that's okay. Everybody's different. But I do find that like videos and voicemails so you can hear, you can see someone, those do really help people calm down. And I haven't, it was funny because Brent, another Kenyan, he said the sucky candies have helped him like that. He didn't realize he was even doing that, but it's like what he does after hard sessions and what he does, to help soothe. So give those a try and let me know. But there are some great programs. I mean, I know you're far from where I am, but I could help you look into some if you are willing to like travel and stay there maybe for a month. Yeah, just because that's like my next step with clients. Because there are, even trying new meds or getting something else.
They're adding 3 right now, and it's just like a mess.
Yeah, that's a lot. So give that time too. And that might be what's causing it to be really bad right now. Because when we change things a lot, it can be, like dysregulating.
Yeah, because like the situation's on the bus, and I can't avoid that because it's a door-to-door transportation, and we have to go that route every day, and we go by the one place that I don't like, and I have to sit there and deal with it. Yeah,
and try the sucky candies. Try putting your earbuds in and watching a video if it's like soothing or pleasing, and seeing if that.
I've done the video a lot. Like I just like sit there on my phone, and I still like we have to like our bus stop is like right there, and we have to wait like 10 minutes.
Gotcha. So we have to like get through a 10 to 15 minute period where you're like stuck there waiting for.
Yeah, I'm more used to the bus moving, so I'm just like, well, if it's moving, I don't have to pay attention. But like when we're stopped, I'm like I have to get up and move.
Yeah. Try the sucky candies. People are saying they're helping them. Smells help, Denise says. Like, I don't know if you've ever had because you can buy those little rollerball things. You can little oils put them on your neck.
I'm sorry, you're still cutting now. I'm trying to hear it.
Oh, that's okay. I was just saying that you can, like, smells help too. So, like, essential oils in a rollerball that you put on can be a nice distraction. Like, eucalyptus or lavender, those are really nice. Mint helps. Oh, Layla says mint. Yep. Yeah, so give it a try and let us know if those help, because we'll have to try different senses, different things, and see, because we're trying to figure out what works for your system and what helps calm down.
Yeah, I'm stuck doing this for like until June, and then I don't have to go back out there again.
Okay, good. So there's a time, we only have to get through so long, but we want to make sure that it's not happening, that you feel better and you don't have to deal with it every time. So give those things a try and then keep posted.
Okay.
Okay, good to see you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I think it is hard, you guys, to figure out which ones are going to help our system the most, because it can be really overwhelming. And if we're struggling, you know, we're doing the best we can. But, oh, hey, Nevada Sparkles. Woo, woo. But I thank you guys all for, like, you know, sharing what works for you, sharing how things have helped you, because I do think the, like, sucky candies, the ginger flavored one somebody mentioned, then there's, like, essential oils, like mint, lavender, eucalyptus. Those are all great options. I think those are all really good. And then the videos that Jennifer's already doing, that really helps too. Ooh, Keely, 400 likes. You guys, we're already 7,000 likes. 7,000. Okay. Oh, Ava says, thank you. I'll try and keep fighting. Go. That's all we can ask. Okay, Angelica A, would I be able to, what? Let me know. Of course, if it's, you know, ooh, do we have a goal today? That's a good question, Keely. Sean, do we have a goal today? Sean's asleep at the wheel.
I don't know.
We don't.
I don't personally have any goals. I'm one of the goals. Habanero thing that was
we
on.
Won't eat any peppers. We're frightened. We cut up the smallest little habanero.
Like 200,000, I think.
Ooh,
Holy.
Letitia Lovejoy.
Too many crickets.
Woo, 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 woo. Thank you. Thank you. I just get, like, the animations is what I. Oh. It releases and dances. Woo, 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 woo. That is so cool. Thank you. Thank you. Are there any? Yeah, of course, Allie, we'll try to get you guested. What would you guys like to have the goal be? Because we won't be eating any habaneros. That's what I was talking about. Thanks, Moonlight Laura.
I would do it, but
well, so just to give you some background, Sean and I bought a habanero plant. I was told that we were buying it because it would be pretty, it would be ornamental. You can't eat habanero peppers, FYI. And it produces a shit ton. It produced like 40 peppers. I feel like it just kept producing. So Sean got the smallest one that we could find in half and put it in this soup that we had. And of course, who ends up fucking stumbling across the first half of it? This lady. And I've never been more uncomfortable. My body, like, immediately was like, my nose was running. It was like, send the mucus, stop the burning. So yeah, and that was like the smallest bit. And it had been cooking for hours in a stew. So I won't be eating that. And ooh, hey, Pina. And I don't think that, we're going to eat any peppers. But we could have other goals and other things. Like, what would we like to do today, Sean? Sean has to work for a while. So I know his evil plan all right. I could sing It's finally Friday. We could talk about karaoke, and maybe next Friday I could go karaoke. It's finally Friday, and we film it, and we could put it on YouNow for you to enjoy / laugh about. That could be fun. Ooh, Aaron says go skydiving. Play an instrument. I do have my guitar over here, but it's been a while, you guys. Do you remember when I was doing that? It was a long time.
Yeah, I think the good one would be if we hit a certain goal, then you would go karaoke. But like, you just say, okay, I'm going to go live in another 3 hours when the karaoke's happening or whatever. You tell them when.
Yeah.
And then they can tune in live.
Yeah, but maybe we karaoke. I could karaoke. I think that would be fun.
I mean, and then people tell you what songs.
Oh, you play guitar. Ellie's like, play the guitar. Do it. Oh, Heidi's playing her guitar right now. Okay. Thanks, Layla. Woo, woo. Okay, you guys. Someone's asking, did you ever get my question on misdiagnosis? Could you do a video on it? I was wrongly diagnosed with Asperger's, but it's really BPD now. I didn't get your question. I'm not sure where you put it, but if you put it below, like, this coming Monday's video, then I can find it there and I can add it to my list. Okay, that would be the easiest thing to do. Yeah, so that you can get it answered. Sorry, I was reading someone else's. Oh, thanks, Layla. You're so generous today. Woo, 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 woo. Control the scroll. I know, right, Sophie? It like flies by. Okay, so Twitter Joe says, any advice on how to tell my mom I've been suffering from depression for the past years when she doesn't acknowledge mental illnesses are real? I get this question so often. And the truth of it is that we can't force people to believe that mental illnesses are we can't believe, or we can't force people to believe that we're suffering. We really can't do any of that. We have no control over how someone responds to our mental illness or how someone responds to us talking to them about it. We can only control what we do. And so my advice would be to explain, and this is, we're just going to do our best, right? Because a lot of times we need our parents on board so we can get the help and the treatment that we need, because we need to be on their insurance, they make us, or whatever. We need them to, pay for it. And I always tell people to write down how you're feeling and what you want to tell them in the shortest way possible. I always encourage people to do bullet points so that we can, do it quickly, we can roll through it, and we don't get caught up in all the details, because that's when we lose their attention and they get confused. And so, I'm struggling. I don't feel any energy anymore. I've been really down. I feel like it might be depression for these reasons. And then quickly move in what I'm hoping, what I need from you. And I always find parents really just want to know what you're going to ask them and how they can help. And I know not all parents are supportive. Not all parents are great. Like this person was saying that, they don't believe the mental illnesses are real, which I don't even know where to start with that. But then just saying, and what you could really help me just by letting, do blank. You could take me to appointments a week if you could let me get on, insurance to go see someone. I really think that would help, and that would really be great for me. Thanks, Layla. You're so nice today. Wow, so generous. Let me know if you have a question, okay? And so that's how I break it down really quickly. What's going on, what you need from them, and that's really it. And then I'm hoping to feel better, and I think this would really help. And then end the conversation, just let it hang and let them talk and let them, say whatever. And at that point, you can decide whether or not you need to go to get treatment without them. Thanks, Angelica. Or if you need to, go with them. Maybe they'll be supportive. Sometimes parents are, they totally surprise us. So that's my advice. And practicing it before you talk to them so you can kind of know what you want to say. You can also visualize and think of what they're going to say back. I hope that helps. A lot of people, have trouble talking to their parents. And I find actually when we kind of go through that process, thanks, Pantalina. And, bye, Erin. I'm glad you were able, but once we go through that process and we talk it out that way, I find that they usually are pretty responsive and pretty helpful. Thanks, Maggie. Woo, 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 woo. Okay. Bridget is asking, how do I cope with leaving day treatment? The truth is, we have to be prepared. We have to put together a plan. So putting together your DIST plan. Of course, Twitter Joe, I hope that was helpful. Ooh, Keely, 400 likes. You guys, 13,000 likes. What? Is Allie? Oh, I was like, what? Put a black tape over the camera. Sorry, I see your guys' conversation. I'm like, is that for me? I'm so confused. Okay. So anyway, and Emily B, yes, we can guest you so you can show your three dogs. So, when we're leaving day treatment or any kind of treatment, I think the hardest thing is the stepping down, because it goes so quickly, right? We just go from having all sorts of support to nothing. And so I do have a video about leaving inpatient, I want to say is what it's called. And I think it's an FAQ, so it's probably hard to find. Damn it, all of those videos are so hard to search. But my advice is to work with your team a lot in detail about your discharge plan. Who you're going to see, when's your appointment, already make an appointment for with your therapist before you get out. Put together your plan for the first few days so you have a very structured schedule. And if it's if it's eating disorder or whatever, sometimes that is setting back up your apartment. So making sure you're going to the grocery store. So make sure you have a support that goes with you, gets everything. You've got your meal plan. We need to make sure that is scheduled as supportive as we can get. We set up ourselves for success. Okay? That's okie dokie. Let's see. Yeah, of course, Angelica, you could today. Emma, I'm sorry. I don't know why it just makes people disappear. Oh, thanks, Emily. Oh, I see you, Angelica. You're right at the top. Here you go. Be our guest. Be our guest. Put our service to the test. Yep. Oh, it's super skippity doo-dah. Oh, no. Hi,
Hi.
How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. So what's going on?
I have trouble opening up in therapy, and I was wondering if there would be any tips, because I do want to get better. I do want to be a therapist when I'm older too. But a part of me is terrified, I guess, of opening up and getting my ish taken care of.
Have you are you seeing someone, and how long have you been seeing them?
I didn't stop. I stopped seeing her, but I didn't officially stop. Like I just like kind of stopped requesting sessions, and I've been seeing her for like about a year. But I've been in therapy since I was like 7. So.
Okay. So, I mean, my main advice for that is to bring that therapy. I know that sounds silly because it's like, well, that's not getting me closer to talking about it. But usually the reason we're afraid to open up comes from a different place. It's more like I'm afraid of letting someone in because that could be really vulnerable and scary for me. Or I get anxious and I forget all the things I want to say. But whatever it is, we kind of have to talk about it in therapy to figure out how we can kind of circumvent that, meaning kind of like sneakily help you open up. Because like you said, you do want to get better, and we can't really work on things if we don't working on, right? If your therapist doesn't know anything. And so my next step, to be truthful, would just be to bring it up in therapy, to talk with her about it and be like, I really struggle to open up.
Would working in like workbooks and stuff like beforehand, because I've been buying like a bunch of like inner child books and like the PTSD workbook, would working on it by myself maybe help a little bit, or would you just recommend just talking in therapy about it?
I'd talk with her first. The workbooks can be so helpful, but at the end of the day, it's going to be most beneficial for you if you can do your work at home and then work on that and like talk about it in therapy, because like together it's the best.
Doing it and then just bringing it into session, because I type it out on my laptop anyway, so she said just print it out and bring it in.
Yeah, you can do that. And that's a way to also help. Like I've talked in the past about bringing like writing in a journal and then having them read that if we struggle to say things in therapy. And so that's kind of the way of doing that. Like if you're already doing the work, you can print it out and bring it in, of course. That could be really helpful. But I still would bring it up.
Okay. Sorry.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I'm also like scared of crying in front of people and like showing any type of emotion to people. So like being in front, I know she can get me out of that place because I've cried in session before, but it's just weird, like having a stranger just watch me cry.
Yeah, and I think that's why talking to her about it, I think, will be helpful, because it's like the more you talk about it, there's so much more to it. It's like I don't like to cry in front of people. I'm struggling to open up. There's all these different components, and so I really think talking to her would help the most, and hopefully, we'll figure out a way to get around it and a way for you to feel comfortable. So the workbook things are great. I would still print that out and bring it in, but I would definitely bring up the fact that it's hard to open up and say, I just want to kind of talk about it and figure out where it's coming from, and then let her go with it.
That was so helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Keep us posted, okay? Let us know how it goes.
Will do. Thank you again.
Okay. Good to see you, Angelica.
You too.
Okay. Bye, honey. Okay. I think that's really common, you guys, and don't think that anything's weird or wrong. It's very common to not know how to talk to a therapist or what you want to say or any of that, because it can just be it's a weird situation, right? We're going in to talk to a stranger, and even if we've been seeing them for a while, we're like, how do I don't know. I don't talk to anybody else about this stuff. Brent is here. I see him. And so anyways, yeah, I think that, it's really common. We just have to find a way around it. And sometimes it's just talking about it that can really open it up. Okay. Yeah. And Lauren, yeah, being vulnerable is really hard. Agreed. Okay. Let's have somebody else guest. Are you ready? Someone was saying before they go to work. Alyssa, are you ready? I'm going to make you a guest, and I'm going to have a little water here. So if you're in Australia, that means, is it like 8:30 in the morning? Hi, Alyssa.
Hi, Katie.
How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. You're a little frozen, but I hear you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see your McDonald's name tag. We're getting ready for work.
Yeah, I'm from Australia and I work at McDonald's.
That's okay. Is it like 8:30 in the morning there, or what time?
Oh, it's not until 8:30. So I've still got like an hour.
Oh, okay. Nice. So what's going on? Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I said, so what's going on?
So I'm 17 and I just got my license in Australia because we have first we have like our learner's permit and then we have our Ps. So where you can then drive like unattended. And you get that when you're 16. And so I've been driving, and I've kind of like been noticing like when like I've had these thoughts of like, I don't know, it kind of sounds really weird, but I have these thoughts of like driving into oncoming traffic. And I also have this habit of like locking my car 3 times. Yeah, and I like, and it's like, not if I can't do it 4 times or 2 times. It has to be like 3. Yeah, and I don't know. Do you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you kind of know already a little bit maybe what it is, but it sounds like we're struggling with intrusive thoughts associated with OCD. Hence why the certain number of things and the anxiety that may build if you don't do the number of times or don't do things in the proper order. Because if you watch my video about pure O OCD, I talk about the intrusive thoughts and how they often are like driving into traffic or hitting somebody on the side of the road or having sex with someone that we like thoughts that we normally wouldn't have, and these be sexual or dangerous in nature. And that's why we're like, what? Oh, what's wrong with me? But nothing's wrong with you. It's just part of OCD as a whole. And I don't know, are you seeing a therapist or anybody?
Yeah, I am. I've also got anorexia, so yeah.
And those kind of go hand in hand, like OCD and then anorexia is because there are so many like obsessions and compulsions that come along with it. I would talk to your therapist about what's happening, about the intrusive thoughts, and you can just call them that because they'll know what that means. Say how they present themselves for you.
I can't hear you. You're breaking up.
Oh, sorry. I was saying, telling your therapist about your intrusive thoughts because there's a lot of different techniques that you can do. There's some CBT tools we use to work on that. And I really think that could be beneficial. I don't know if you've told him or her about it.
No, I haven't told her yet. No.
Let her know. There's a lot that we can do. And if you want to watch my pure OCD video or my other videos about OCD, you can kind of resonates with you. But it's really, really common. They can go away. And I even have videos about some thought stopping techniques. When you get back from work, you can watch some of those to help you kind of get out of that. So that it doesn't bother you all day or, be so upsetting.
No.
Huh? Can you hear me?
Yeah, kind of. It breaks up a little bit.
Okay. Well, maybe when you get back from work, you can kind of rewatch this because we're 38 minutes in, so you can scan forward and but let me know. Keep me posted. And there's a great book. It's called OCD, A Love Story. I highly recommend it. It can help us feel so much more understood. One of the Kenyans actually sent it to me, or gave it to me, Lauren. So yeah, I really encourage you to read that. That's really helpful. Yeah, and keep us posted. But tell your therapist, and there's a lot of behavioral techniques that we can do to help. So we can make it go away, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, bye, Alyssa. I'm glad we were able to get her in. Oh, Sadie girl. Woo, woo, woo. Lots of likes. I don't know if you guys can hear me or if it was cutting out, because of that. But the intrusive thought, and even Michael's saying, like, he gets a lot of intrusive thoughts. Oh, yay, Madison. I'm so glad. It can get better. I think that's an important thing to in general, is it can get better and better. Letitia loves her. Woo, woo, woo. You guys, 18,000 likes. This is amazing. And so anyway, I think that, just, sorry, Sean's, he highlights about, guesting people and not forgetting question and blah, blah, blah. He helps me out. But I think that, it's important to know that those things can get better with the right tools. And often it's because we engage in that thought. And, you guys remember my video about pure OCD and how those thoughts don't make you a bad person. There's nothing. Thanks, Layla. You're so generous today. Let me know if you have a question or if I can help. Oh, bye, Danny. Have a good day singing. If you guys don't remember, Danny was on and she, was it the X Factor, I think is what she said? Or America's Got Talent. She tried out at America's Got Talent. So, bye, Danny. But I know that the intrusive thoughts don't make you a bad person. They don't mean that you actually want to do those things or think those things. It's part of the mental illness, and it can be treated and it can go away. Okay? Just want you guys to know that. Okay. Layla's asking, has a patient ever told you they emotionally want you to be their mother? If not, how would you react? Oh, if not, how would you react to that? Okay, I see. Yes, I have had clients struggle with boundaries and attachment, and I've actually, in the end, ended up referring them out. I have a person that I've worked with over the years who does some attachment therapy, and I've referred them out to that person because boundaries are so important, and if they feel like they want, we would talk about it first of all. So I'll walk you through my process. Sorry, I'm going to pull my leg up here. If someone is really struggling with attachment, and that's part of kind of what we're working on, especially because I do DBT therapy. And I always say therapy, and people are like, why do you say it twice? But because people don't know what DBT, dialectical and behavioral therapy, I specialize in that. And so I get a lot of attachment issues, a lot of people who struggle with borderline personality disorder. And as a result, boundaries in my therapy practice, and that's why I've said I'm like kind of tough love therapist. If I'm not, it can actually lead to really unhealthy attachment, and it makes it really hard for my clients to get better. And so if they find themselves wanting me to be their parent, part of what I'll do is talking about that, processing through it with them to figure out where it's coming from. And a lot of it usually has to do with like early attachment, so we'll try to work on stuff like that. But if it doesn't get better and we find it hindering our process and our progress in therapy, that's when I refer them out. And it's not as like oh, I can't see you anymore, this is terrible. It's more like, I want you to understand that this isn't healthy for you moving forward. And I'm really doing it out of love and care for them and their treatment. But first, we have to talk about it. Oh, I do have pants on today. It says namaste. These are like the best things I've ever purchased. And do you ever have those things you debate like buying forever, and then you're so glad you did? These were, I got them, the Spiritual Gangster is the brand. Makes me sound so cool. But they're the coziest like lounge pants ever. And I love them. But know that that's very normal to want your therapist to be your mom or just a caretaker in general, because they're the first person that's really listened to you. But it's important to be able to talk about it. It's important to be able to go through it with them and know that it can be better. Okay? And often, to be truthful, I don't, just so none of you out there are worried that they're going to, I know, gangsta. I don't always refer them out. It's just sometimes if that is hindering our process, then I'm going to have to. And that's really just because I care about them and I want them to be doing better. Okay. Oh, woo! Look at Natalia. Do you guys see those? Sean? Little messages. Natalia has overcome her BPD after 2 years. Woo, 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 woo. I wish we could throw Why can't I have a button for confetti? I'm going to have to ask. I'm going to have to ask you now to give me a confetti button. Because then we can like celebrate someone. After working for 2 years, you overcome it. Woo, 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 woo. It can happen. Exactly, Shishari. See? It happens. Okay. Jessica says, way to go. That's so exciting. Okay. Confetti. Oh, does she have a song called Confetti? I know. See, Allie says, yay, Natalia. Oh, so far it's been great. We have a person that I talk with. Oh, Smashing. I love the Smashing Pumpkins. But YouNow has been super supportive, and now we have the subscription option, which was something that we as a community had to remember we had to get all those likes and replays and meet this certain criteria that I still don't quite understand in order to have access to that. But that gives us all sorts of extra things, and as we keep growing, telling me, this is really great, and you get a lot of likes and you get a lot of chat. Ooh, Keely, thank you. I know we're number 83. But so it's been really great, and it's really cool that they've kind of pushed things through for the mental health realm, because they understand how important it is and how different what I do is than like a beauty blogger or, stuff like that. Speaking of which, knowing like how I take care of myself, like my self-care routine, somebody asked about it and I'm like, I don't usually do stuff like that, but I'd be willing to. I don't know, let me know, because it's something that, I don't know, it would just be a different style of video. And I always feel a little weird about stuff like that, but then I'm like, but change is good, right? We can change. We can do, some different things. So, okay, Shishari says it'd be interesting. Yeah, like your self-care. Instead of like, you know, get ready with me. Because trust me, you don't want to get ready with me. I don't do much. It would be the shortest video ever. I'd be like, and I showered, and I put lotion on, and I'm done. That's really it. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, and the yoga video. Okay, so you guys like it. Okay, cool. I just wanted to see just because, you know, who knows? Brooke. You guys, I'm pretty low maintenance. Just throwing it out there. Okay, let's see. Heidi's asking, why do I get so attached to random people in my life and I feel like I obsess over them? Oh, one jump. Oh, of course, Nikki. I'm glad you're here. Woo woo. Hey, Nikki Fitch. She's asking, why does it jump? Control the scroll. Okay, here it is. Why do I get so attached to random people in my life and I feel like I obsess over them? Is it because I'm not close to my parent? Yes, I actually have a video that does a great job of explaining this, you guys. Is about, I think it's just called, why do I get so attached to female? I think that's what, because that was the question, because it's like a FAQ. Look on YouTube because I talk about it. It usually has to do with attachment to our parents and spending time, you know, with them and feeling like we have the love and we're receiving what we need from them. And when we don't feel like we get that, we look for other people to fill that void versus working on, it's almost like, this is going to sound weird, but I think of it like a wound, okay? You get like a big gash, let's say, something really got us. We got bit by a big animal, a bear, and it tore out part of our arm. Our body actually starts healing from, it covers the top, and then it heals from the bottom up. And I always like to think of that when it's like emotional wounds. Oh, I did get my godmother sandwich. Remind me, I'll tell you. Anyway, to wounds, emotional wounds, we have to heal from the outside in. So we have to fill the void ourselves and heal what happened from the back up. And yes, we kind of need to protect our little, and that's like maybe staying out of certain relationships for a while until you're healed can be better for you. But we have to heal the inside. Does that make sense? And so I always think you can hear Sean jingling around. He's got the V pants and they make the jingles. But anyway, I always think that that's how we have to do that, because otherwise we keep trying to stuff other people in there to fill that void, and that's not really healing the wound that was left. I hope that that's clear. Sometimes my analogies, I'm like, does that make sense? Oh, April, I didn't get the mail. It was really rainy yesterday, and so I didn't actually leave the house. But I will try to do it soon, and I will make sure that I do a mail haul next time we hang out. I was contemplating doing another weekday live stream, not just Friday, maybe like throwing it up on a Tuesday. Oh, of course, I'm happy that I can be here and be a resource and be helpful. Thanks, Letitia. Oh, you got snow, Sansdell, am I saying that right? Ooh. Actually, I mind the rain or the snow. I just don't want to have to be out in it. I like the sound of it. Okay. Oh, please do it after school hours, of course. Oh, Keely, that's so sweet of you. I'm excited. I can't wait to get the mail. I always love getting my mail anyways, but I just didn't get a chance yesterday. Okay, so Fabs is asking, you struggle with attachment due to autism? If so, why? Yes. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that when we're on the spectrum, we struggle to attach in general. It's really hard for us to physical, so emotional cues from people, and we struggle to process that information. And so often, there was a blog I'd read. If I can find the link, I'll like tweet it out or something, or someone remind me, because I'll probably forget. There was a blog I read, and it was this woman who was talking about what it was like for her to live with autism. And she was saying that it's like, imagine I think I might have already said this, let me know if I'm, but she talks about being like a boombox. And we don't have autism when we don't struggle with those, like reading those cues. It's like the music can play clearly, and the chord all goes in, and everything, the sounds are so, we hear the guitar, and we hear the drums, and we can pull them out, and it's just wonderful. We can hear it so clearly. When we have autism, all of those different musical instruments, aka different stimuli, and ooh, why did that even happen? I don't even know why that happened. And some of it, you guys are frustrated. Anyways, and if we can't, I've got to get a better camera, dudes and dudettes. Anyway, if we have autism, it's as if the, sorry, I'm just keeping my hair to like protect us from the strobe. I'm going to have Sean turn off the light in a second when he gets out. Anyway, it's like the wires that go into the speakers are frayed, and so we're getting this like crazy noise, like everything is overwhelming, and we can't break out like what's the drums, what's the guitar. Can you turn off the light, baby, or something? I'm just over it. There we go. Okay, better. This'll do. Anyway, and I thought that was a really great description, because many of the children and adults I've worked with who are on the spectrum, they, oh, that sandwich, yeah, I'll talk about it. But they talk about how they're just sensory overload. Everything's really overwhelming. And so because things are so overwhelming and we don't know how to decipher any of those, we really struggle to connect with others and to know what's appropriate and to know how to even need, because we feel so overwhelmed. And so attachment is one of the biggest issues that people work on in therapy and in group. I honestly think on the spectrum, because then we can talk to others and we can realize nothing's wrong with us. We're not broken. It can be talked about and figured out and worked through. And honestly, a lot of it just has to do with structuring your time and learning cues, like things that we take for granted as those who are not on the spectrum. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, Fab says it feels like a pressure overload. And so, yeah, of course. Yeah, Sansdale, I agree. So anyway, that just gives you a little idea of like how it can feel and what it can be like for them and how that can affect our ability to attach to others, okay? And so that is a big part of it. And I think if you're on the spectrum, sometimes we don't even know like how or why this isn't working, or how or why we can't connect with them, or you know what it is we even want. Sometimes we don't even know what we want, but we know something like out of a relationship. And so there's a lot of work that can be done, and it does get better. Okay, Fab, so hang in there. Okay, so Maggie's asking, can you be forced into the hospital for recovery when you're a minor? Yes. Unfortunately, your parents can sign off to put you in there, and because you're not a subscriber, you in. It's helpful. I don't like it. I don't agree with it, because if we don't want to get better, no one can force us to get better. But yes, it can be done if we're, if we're underage. Oh, Emma, of course, I'll try to guest as many people as I can. I know that Allie has been waiting, so let's try Allie Gymnastics again. Of course, I think Carrie's still married to Mr. Big. I saw that clip. I do. Oh, and I agree, Sadie. There's no cure for autism, but you can learn to manage the symptoms better. It's almost like any kind of illness or struggle is that, I think it is just a black screen. I don't know where Allie is. We're going to have to drop. I tried, Allie. But there are a lot of mental illnesses in general, even like I would even venture to say schizophrenia, where we're going to always have those symptoms, but there are things that we can do to manage them and to live with them and to make them work for us and to make it feel better for us. And that's the power of therapy and the power of medication and the power of structure, especially when it comes to autism spectrum. Structure, schedules, things like that are very important. And so learning how to manage them can help you feel so much better. And I think that's a lot of like the self-education in general. Thanks, Layla. Woo woo. So anyways, I think that for all of us, we're all works in progress, right? I think that we can all better learn to manage the things we feel and to better deal with our symptoms of being human, like, right? We all can be, I'm super stubborn sometimes. I used to be really, I would lash out a lot because I was emotional as a teen. And those are things that I've learned to better manage. And obviously there's going to be still times when we slip up and we act out and we do things that we don't want to, or we, don't manage our symptoms at all, but it does get better. Okay. Whoop, whoop. I know. It's funny. Oh, Allie, I just tried to guest you, but it didn't work. It was a black screen. Okay, let's guess somebody else. Oop, that's not what I want. Emma, let's see if we can have you on. And let's see who else is in our guest. Then we got Pantalina. and Kalesia. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And April. Get you guys going. Hi, can you see me and hear me?
Hi.
Hello?
It's really bad connection, I believe.
Oh yeah, it is a bad connection. Do you want to ask your question in the chat? I can't hear you. I know, Nikki, it is quiet without Sean. Oh, and Wade is a new subscriber. Woo woo. And before I forget, I did get the Godmother sandwich. We actually had to Postmate it because, like I said, I didn't leave the house because I was writing all the thank you cards. Look at all these thank you cards. It's another Katie, but look at them all. Look at all those thank you. And that's only half. And then there's all these ones. Look at all these. So I was writing all the thank you cards for my Patreon patrons. And I had to approve comments, and I had to get into Patreon, and, you know, I just had a lot of stuff to do. And I'm working on the anxiety workbook, and so we Postmated it. And I've never done Postmates before, but I'm a huge fan. So, yes. Oh, yeah, I'm on Frozen. Woo-woo. So, yeah, okay. Let's see. Oh, we're over 30,000 likes, you guys. Woo, 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 woo. Okay, Maureen's asking, I'm really scared of trying to recover again because I know how bad I feel when I'm at my set point weight. How can I motivate myself in recovery? And, Allie, I'll try. I just did try, and it was just black. I think motivating ourselves in recovery is a really difficult portion of it. And I think part of it, the only thing, I always ask my clients, the only thing you have to want is to not be where you're at. And to not be happy with how things are. That's it. The other stuff will come as we work through it. We can't go into a recovery situation and be like, am I ready to not ever do this ever again and be weight restored and never self-harm or whatever it is, or never contemplate suicide because, oh, bye, Emily B. Oh, we didn't get to see the dogs. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. But we'll see you soon. So I really think, oh, thanks, Keely. Woo, woo. I think that, like, we can't go into recovery that way. We have to go into recovery like, hey, I just don't. Oh, bye, Layla. Have a good day. Thanks for coming on and for being so generous. If you have a question, let me know. Okay, bye, Emily. So I think that, you know, it's, of course, Maggie. Sorry, guys. There's a lot going on today. But I think that that's where we have to be. It's just like, I don't like the way things are, and today I want to try to get better. And that's the only place we have to be when it comes to recovery, because we're never going to say, oh, I am never going to want to do this again, because that's not how we're going to feel. And it's really scary, and it can feel overwhelming. So one thing at a time. Just, I'm going to try to get better. I do want to recover at some point. At least I feel shitty today. That's all I ask. And I think that's just where we leave it, okay? Okay. You leaving? Sean's got a skedaddle. He's got to go. Okay, Pantalina, let's see if we can get you in and update with Pantalina. Do you guys remember her? She was on, I think, about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Hi, Katie.
Hi, I like your shirt. Woo, woo. I still have those shirts too.
So comfy. The first ones are so comfy.
I know, it's funny, my mom's boyfriend has a shirt like that, and he says they're the best. He's like, they're the most comfortable. Those other ones I don't like as much. So
yes, I've got the short sleeve one as well, and I love it.
Yeah, good.
I've
Yay.
got 3 questions.
What's going on?
The first one is, can a nightmare turn into a flashback?
Like a night terror, kind of like you does a nightmare, do you wake up and be a flashback? Or
like I woke up and I was choking myself, and that did happen in reality, but it was from a dream. But
and we can have like what we, well, yes, I'm just gonna, the short answer is yes. Flashbacks can be in nightmares, like in our dreams, and they can affect us that way.
How can you cope with them?
The truth of it is like letting your treatment team know, because as we process through trauma, unfortunately, weird symptoms like that come up, and we can find ourselves like having nightmares that are like flashbacks, like we're reliving it. And I've had clients choke themselves before, and a lot of it just had to do with the trauma reprocessing. And so we actually upped their session time and increased their EMDR at the time is what they were in. because
That's my second question.
yeah, because it was really, they were really struggling. And another thing that I had them do was have like put together a little routine before bed where it's all positive thoughts. So we read some affirmations, we write down things we're grateful for, we do some breathing techniques or meditation or nice music or whatever, and we kind of set up a process of going to bed. And if those dreams do happen, when you wake up, if it's like frightening like that, I encourage you to write it out and find a way to vent it out. Even if you record a video of yourself talking about it, any way to kind of get out what's going on can help also. But unfortunately,
it's safe getting back to sleep.
Oh, because it wakes you up in the middle of the night. And I think that's kind of like having the little nighttime ritual is starting that over again. So if you get up and you're overwhelmed, don't try to go right back to sleep because that's too scary. Heck, if I wake myself up from a nightmare, I get up and like have a glass of water and sit for a while because I don't want to go back into the nightmare. And so, bye, honey. Love you. Sean's leaving.
Bye, Sean.
Bye. They say bye, Sean. He says bye. So anyway, then you go through your routine again. So then I'd do like breathing techniques. I'd listen to your music that's nice, write down a few things you're grateful for, and kind of do it again. And I know that that's frustrating, but they will go away. We just have to like keep with the process. I know it sucks. It's like terrifying. But once we start, giving ourselves the ability to process through it and trying new things, because sometimes maybe one thing won't work this time, but it'll work the other time. Or maybe we have to take a shower. Like that worked for one of my clients. She's like, I had to just take a shower and then try to go to bed again. But keep us posted. Let us know what works for you, because that'd be great for, for a lot of people are saying listening to soothing sounds helps. Oh, and Sadie said she's trying to create good dreams before bed. Like I talk about in my How to Get to Sleep Better video. There's some things in there you might try.
I want to get me too impatient and I'm scared and I don't really want to.
You don't really want to get better?
I want to get better, but not to be readmitted to a hospital.
Well, we don't know if you have to be readmitted to the hospital. Let's just take it one thing at a time, right? The goal right now is to help you get back to sleep and to have less of these night terror situations where we're, it's like a flashback. So give some of the, some of those things a try and see if those help. Because I know you don't want to be back in the hospital. We don't want you back there either if you don't need it. But it's there if we need. But right now, let's try some of those things and see if it helps. Because I really think we can make it go away. And just letting your team know that has happened. And let them know you're trying some things. Maybe they'll have some other tools and techniques that can help too,
My other question is, how do you cope with anniversaries of trauma?
With what trauma?
Anniversaries.
Oh, anniversaries. The best thing we can do is prep ahead of time. So if we know an anniversary is coming up, I want you to talk to your team about it, talk to your therapist, and I want you to have the busiest day you've ever had. I know that sounds really silly, but distractions are the best during that time. And having supportive people, make sure it's a day filled with things that you love, people you love, things that you want to do. And we're just going to try to distract and keep ourselves busy throughout. And then I want you to end the day with like things that you're grateful for. Like try to make the whole day filled with positivity. And I know it can feel really hokey and you can be like, I don't want to do this. But the truth is that really helps us get through them. Because it's literally, we just have like this 24-hour period where we just need to survive and get through it. And the more we create these like positive memories during that anniversary time, the less power that anniversary will have over us, because we have all this history of like, well, I got through it that last time and I did fine until, let's say nighttime. I can do it again. It's going to be fine. And so prepping ahead of time, putting a plan together, having extra support that day, letting people know it's coming up, all of those things are really, really helpful.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And the last one is that I have, sort of. The anniversary is this Wednesday, and I had my therapist know, and I asked her if I could have like a double session this week, 2 times this week.
Yeah.
And she replied no, because she said that she will increase the helplessness that I feel if I have 2 sessions this week.
Sorry, is your question, it makes it worse to have 2 sessions, or are you worried about what that means? Or I'm sorry.
It won't help me to have 2 sessions.
That it won't help you, the feeling hopeless. I see. Okay, sorry, it cut out a little bit.
But I don't understand that.
I think it's how we talk about it. Let me know if I'm answering it correctly. I think the thing about it sounds like a lot of self-judgment and worry that it's never going to get better, but what you're really doing is actually what you're supposed to do, which is knowing something hard is coming up and happening and getting the extra support that we need so we can get through it. I think that that's great, and I'm really proud of you for letting her know and seeing if you can do that, because that is like preparing ahead, just like what I'm talking about, so you can get through that day, you know? I think that it's really, you know, it's really helpful, it's really healthy for you, and you're doing the best to get through it. So I'd throw confetti for you if I could.
Okay.
Okay? Keep us posted, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Of course, of course. I'll see you soon, honey. Bye, Pantalina. And people were asking where she's from, and she's from Cyprus. And I think, is someone in there, let me know, is there someone I just need to block or somebody having a hard time? Anyway, let me know. Okay. Let's see. To answer a few more questions, then we'll guess somebody else. Ooh, my foot is falling asleep. Okay. Okay, you want me to, so someone's not we don't like them. Okay. Wesley, ever make a video on BIID? BIID? Sorry, what does that mean? I'm looking it up. I'm assuming integrity identity disorder. Is that something associated? I don't know that much about it, to be truthful. I definitely can do more videos on that if that's something that you all want. I would assume it's like a dissociative disorder just by the name of it, but I'm not 100% sure. Thanks, Junie Junebug. I'll tweet back. I'll get on probably later today or tomorrow and try to get through all of my stuff, but know that you can always retweet me, resend stuff, because I sometimes don't see it all or get to it in time, and it's like way down on my feed. But yeah, I can definitely do a video about that. And what was the other one? Okay. A video about guilt, Denise? I definitely can. I think I even have a few videos about it now, but I'm happy to revisit it and talk about it. It's been a long time. Like I was just saying earlier with Alexa, we're going to do a video on shame. And I think shame and guilt go hand in hand. And I think there's a lot of stuff we can talk about when it comes to that. Thanks, Emily29. Okay, Emma's question is, how do you tell your therapist you're feeling worse after a previous session where you felt you were up a hill and now you feel like you failed? Or on the uphill. Gotcha. So you felt like you were doing better and now you feel like you failed. I think the truth is, I'm just going to say this first before how you tell your therapist. That's how therapy works. We're going to have good times. We're going to have bad times. We're going to have sessions we feel amazing after, and we're like, hooray! Of course, Pantalina, happy to help. She sent a little message saying thank you. So know that that's completely normal. We can feel like things are going well and we're doing great, and then we'll have a few shitty sessions. Exactly. Keely says process, not perfection. We're going to have ups and downs, and I think the truth of it is just accepting that and knowing that it's completely 100% okay. And you can say, I would encourage you just to be honest, just say it like you said it to me. I would say, I'm feeling really bad since our last session. That was really hard for some reason. You can even say I had a lot of guilt about it or was worried to bring it up because I felt so much better. I felt like I was doing so much better, but it's so normal. Like you guys, do you remember, I'm sure if you're on Tumblr at all, you've seen this meme, and it is my favorite. And it was like, it shows like a direct line, like point A to point B. And it's like what it ends up being. And it's like this squiggly line that's like all crazy between point A and point B. That's how recovery is. We're going to have good days. We're going to have bad days. We're going to have a bunch of good days and a bunch of bad days. Ooh, number 47 broadcaster. Thanks, Keely, for the update. So know that that's completely okay. And it's fine to have setbacks. And it's fine to feel bad. And there's no judgment around it. It's part of the process, right? And we're just working hard. We're just going to try again. And maybe that session was just a little harder. That's completely normal. When I work through tough days with my clients, I usually give them a few sessions after that are a little easier if they want, because it is overwhelming and we can have bad days. But know that it gets better. And it's completely okay to have those bad days. Sorry guys, it's getting kind of dark because I turned off the light because of the strobing. I'm going to try to figure this out. Okay, which is weird because we've had that light forever using it, and it never used to do this all crazy like this, but okay, let me see. Let's guess somebody. Be our guest. Okay, Allie, we'll try you next. I'm trying Kalesia, and it looks like Melinda, you're up as well. Okay. Yeah, and Charlanne's saying it gets worse before it gets better. Oh, Allie, you gotta go? Well, hold on. I know, camera on the...
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Really?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I hear you. You're frozen, but I hear you. So if you let me know what's going on, this should totally work out. There we go.
Okay.
Okay, I see you.
So my question, I actually have two questions.
Okay.
My first one, it's something you talked about a little bit ago, with a mother, looking at your therapist as a mother and like, wanting her to be your mother. I haven't ever told you this, but I found her daughter on like, social media, and I've like looked at pictures of them, and it like makes it worse, and I don't know why I keep looking at them, but I like want to be her daughter, and then I just feel worse after the fact. I'm not sure why I do that or how to stop.
So it's cutting out a little bit. So is it that you find her daughter online and you're like looking at it and like kind of being jealous about it or upset about it, or? It's frozen. Bye, Jessica. I'm glad you're able to...
out really badly.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Here, ask your question in the chat. Will that work? Okay. Oh, okay. Sorry, Kalesia, and I need a little light. Is this okay, you guys? Do you mind that it's so dark? Because the sun is kind of like gone behind a cloud. I can turn on the light again and try, but let me know if you don't mind that I'm kind of in the dark. Thanks, Wascally. Okay, so, okay, cool, it's fine. Okay, I think the question was, and I'm not sure if I'm saying your name right, Kalesia? But it sounds like, oh, okay, so, let me know, Kalesia, in the chat or whatever. I think, the question was that I found my therapist's daughter online, and I like look at her photos and stuff, and then I feel really bad and guilty about it. And I don't know if when you look at the photos, if you're jealous of her or if you're, wishing that you were her or any of that. I'm not sure because it cut out a lot, so it was hard for me to hear. But let me know, if I'm off base, if that's not what you were asking. And you were like, why do I do that? Okay, yeah, exactly. It kind of goes hand in hand with that question that I answered before about like, why would I want my therapist to be my mother? And I think part of it is like feeling that they're a stable and healthy and loving caretaker, and you want to be in that family. Like that's completely normal because you're like, I didn't get that. I didn't have that in my mom. And so therefore, like I was talking about before, like having that wound and how we have to heal it from the bottom up versus trying to shove someone else. Could you share my message? Yeah, of course, Nikki. I'll look for it. I'll have to find it. Just give me a second. Let me finish this this question. And so in truth, I would bring it up in therapy. And the way that I would bring it up, because I wouldn't go so far to tell her that like you found her daughter online, you're looking at her, because that can cause a whole nother feeling in your therapist. And I just want to make sure that you still get the support you want, because there's nothing wrong with what you're doing. It's part of the attachment, and that like potentially like that emotionally unavailable mother book could be helpful, because I feel like that really talks about healing that wound and like mothering ourselves in some way to slowly fill that void without trying to shove somebody else into it. Does that make sense? Like we have to heal it for ourselves. We have to make it feel better for us before we try to put somebody else in it. And so that book can be really, really helpful. But I would bring it up in therapy by saying to her, I find myself wishing that you were my mom, and I find myself wishing that I was in your family. And that's completely okay. And you can say, I'm not sure where this is coming from, and I'm kind of embarrassed about it. Because like you said, I'd never told anybody about this before. And I think it's very normal to be like worried and like, what are they going to think and all this stuff. But it's okay. It's part of the process. There's a reason this is coming up for you. There's a reason that you're wanting her around and that you're wishing that she was your mom, because there's something that you're missing. And I think that's an important component for her to know so that she knows what to work on. And you can even say, like, I watched this therapist online and she mentioned the Emotionally Absent Mother book, and I don't know, do you think that that would help or whatever? Yeah, bring it up. I think that, okay, twist, okay, you got it, Keely. Let me find this person. Okay. Done. Done. I think it should, like, get rid of all of the comments. Ta-da! Oh, people say didn't even do anything? Oh. Well, I already did that. Okay. So anyway, but I hope that that helps. I hope that that gives you a little insight into it, because it's completely normal. Okay? Let's answer a few more questions here and guess some more people. So, Lay 747 says, how do you deal with loneliness and feeling like your friends hate you? I actually have a video about loneliness. I think it's called Neediness, Dependency, and Loneliness. And I'm in a yellow blouse. Why I remember that, and I can't remember where I parked my car sometimes, nobody knows. Sorry, I'm getting texts from people. Too many things. But I think part of the loneliness component, a lot of it has to do with how we, and I know you guys are going to get annoyed, and sorry, I've got an itch here, but I think a lot of it has to do with how we talk to ourselves, because loneliness usually comes out of the fact that we're like, some of our needs aren't getting met. Something that's happened to us, something that's going on, something that we, we're feeling like we need. It means something's off. It means that we need to do a little self-care. And I always encourage my clients who are feeling extremely lonely to not only increase, like, doing one more social thing this week. I don't want you going like all or nothing. I don't do black and white, right? We do like a little gray. So we try doing one more social thing. But the second thing I always have my clients do that are feeling really lonely or feeling like their friends hate them or any of that is to do some self-care. Talk more nicely to yourself. Why do you think your friends hate you? Chances are it's this negative, these negative thoughts that are swirling in your brain. And so I really encourage you to take a break with that, like to notice and to argue back and to be more positive and to think about all the things you're grateful for and just do some intense self-care. Maybe it's taking a bath. Maybe it's watching your favorite show. Maybe it's putting on happy, crazy Disney music and dancing around your house. Because when we feel lonely, we worry people are hating on us and we're just having a hard time connecting, it's usually because we're not connected to ourselves. And so I encourage you to connect back with yourself first. Oh, thanks, Keely, for all the likes. And then trying to reconnect with others. Because I know that it sounds silly and it just makes so much sense to me, but I know sometimes it's hard to conceptualize. When we're feeling lonely, we're feeling needy, we're feeling dependent, any of those things, it's really because we're missing something ourselves. And so we have to work on ourselves first. Okay? Okay. Let's see. It's a fun game. What is Katie going to say? But with what? Is this questions, or do I just say things really hilariously? Yeah, Sadie is sharing too. She says, videos on age regression. I do have inner child work stuff. Remind me to talk about that. But Sadie's saying I have a lot of, that I've been doing a lot of self-care and cutting out toxic people, and now I feel better. And it's so true. Oh, thanks, Alicia. See you soon. I'm glad Alicia Marie says bye-bye. She's got to go. Thanks, Letitia Lovejoy. Woo, woo, woo. But I think that when we finally put ourselves first, we do some self-care and we, weed out the people in our lives that are not building us up and tearing us down. And I got a comment the other day, and they had a point, and I enjoyed it. And they're like, I don't like that you say toxic people. Can't you say toxic behavior? And I think that that's a very valid point. And I agree. It's toxic behavior, and we can't be around it. And yes, that behavior is attached to a person, but I do think how we talk about it's kind of important. And so when we weed that stuff out and we cut out the things in our life that are toxic and we take care of ourselves, I think that I can't even tell you how much better you start feeling. And so I agree with Sadie 100%. Okay. CCC says, I've decided to try therapy and I don't know how to tell my family or friends, or even that I should. And yes, Emily, I can do a lot more videos on healing the inner child. I'm going to work through that Emotionally Absent Mother book a little bit with you guys. And And so hopefully that will help. Of course, Sansdell. I'm so glad you could be on and hang out with us. Woo woo. So, and thanks, Keely. Whether or not we tell people that we're considering doing therapy is completely up to us. And it's only, I always tell my clients, if you're an adult and you can get therapy yourself and you don't have to go through a parent, you don't have to go through the referral system, I always tell my clients, if it would help you and you would feel better about it, thanks, Dominica, or Dominica, did I say that right? I'm not sure which one. If that would help you, then you can tell them. If it's not about you and you think that they just may want to know or it could be helpful for them, then don't do it. Of course, Emily, of course. I will do more books on that, or more videos on that book. Jeez. Because if it doesn't help you, then there's no, oh, thanks, Keely, using my last bars. That's so sweet of you. But I think that that's the only reason that we need to tell anybody, is if we think it would be helpful for us. And the reason that first it has to be helpful for us. And what that means is if by telling someone you feel like that you'll have more supports and it can be better for you, go for it. That's what we want. That's why we would tell people, is so that they can understand what's happening. Thanks, Keely. Woo woo. And so anyway, those are my thoughts about it. And to go about it, like I talked about before, if you want to rewind this, if you're watching the replay, or if you missed it, you can watch the replay where I talked about how to tell parents and keeping it short and succinct, practicing ahead of time and telling them what you need from them. Those are all kind of the key components to that. But only do it if it's going to benefit you, and make sure that you have more supports. And yeah, that's my advice, okay? Don't do it because you feel like you have to. That's never a good idea. Okay, let's guess somebody else. Are we ready? Allie, we're going to try you one more time. Are you ready? Or actually, sorry, April. I told April she'd be next, and then Allie, we'll try you one more time. Okay, April, are you ready? That's such a cool way to spell it. Apryl. I love it. Ooh, a pose. Camera. Hi.
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
This is weird.
There you are. Yeah. Hey.
I have a couple questions. My first question is, I had a therapist she found out that I was burning myself, and she recommended me going to a different therapist that would help with that. I'm kind of scared because I told her everything that's been going on, and now I have to start all over again. Do you have any suggestions on, how I should go about that? Or, yeah.
The best thing, and this is going to sound weird, but the best way is actually for you not to have to start over. I know you're going to still feel like you need to share certain things, and that's fine. But what I would do is sign the release for your therapist to talk to the new therapist. Because I do that for my clients, especially if I refer them out for a trauma specialist or anything like that. I'll check with my client and say, are you okay with it? And the truth about it is that helps cut out so that you don't have to say it again. You don't have to go through it all again. And I can give them, as a therapist, I can give the other therapist essentially the information they're going to need to make sure that they know how to treat you and what's really going on. And so I usually tell them, here are the things we've worked on, just so you know what she'll share. It's here are the things we've worked on, here are the things we've struggled with, and this is why I'm referring her to you. And then I kind of leave it at that. And so it's not like I'm sharing everything, but it at least makes it so that you don't have to repeat all of this stuff. Yeah. That's what I would do.
Okay. My second question is, it's been a crazy few months where my dad has done some really crazy stuff, and there's been a lot of flashbacks of what he's done to me, and now my mom and my dad are going through a divorce, and I'm like, my mom's pressuring me to press charges against my dad, and I don't know if I should. Right now, I don't feel like I'm at a place where I can, and I don't know how to explain to her that, because I want something done, obviously, to make sure he doesn't do it to anybody else, but at the same time, I have to take care of myself, too, and make sure that I'm okay. So, what do you think on, your ideas on?
The thing that I would tell, so first of all, you're right. You need to take care of yourself, and this is your choice, and you can do it in your time. And so what I would tell your mom because it's probably because they're going through a divorce and she wants it, to be better for her. Yeah. And I don't mean that like in a bad way. I just mean she wants it to be smoother for her. And I get that. Divorces are horrible and stressful, and I understand. But what I would tell her is that you understand that. I'd say, I know this is really hard, Mom. I know how stressful this is, and be like, but I'm not ready yet, and I can't. If you're not, because I want you to do it when you feel ready. And talk about it in therapy, because my guess would be that if you're forced to do it, it'll be more traumatizing. It'll be extra stressful. Our self-harm urges will go through the roof. It really makes things worse for you. And so I would be honest about that, because she's probably stressed out too, she's not even thinking about you. And not in a hurtful way. It's just like she has a lot of stuff going on. And so often I think people don't realize how harmful it would be. And so I would just hold that boundary. I know that she may, because she's already pressuring you, so she may put more pressure on, but know that you don't have to do anything. You do it in your time, your thing to report. It's not hers. So, it's up to you, and I only want you to do it when you feel like doing it wouldn't cause you any extra angst. Like, it wouldn't be upsetting, it wouldn't be overwhelming. It's going to be hard in the moment, but you feel like you're ready.
Yeah. Do you think it's weird that I'm 23 years old, and I'm having a really hard time with self-harm? Do you think that's normal with all the trauma stuff that I've gone through? Or do you think that's abnormal, that, I'm at an older age and I shouldn't be dealing with that anymore?
I think this is something I'm going to do a video on, because people self-harm at all ages, April. And it may not, I've had people who start self-harming in their 50s because they had repressed memories. Came out. So know that there's no age limit to when we struggle with self-injury. It's not just a teenager thing. And that's such a stigma, and people like perpetuate it, right? And I feel almost bad because I should have talked about it earlier. But no, being 23, trust me, I have clients who are like 38 and 42 who are still struggling. And there's no age limit. It's all about when you work on it, and how we get through it, how we process the trauma. Or whatever we're using it to cope with. There's no limit. So no, you're doing just fine. I'm glad you're seeing someone. I'm glad you're seeing a specialist. It'll be really good. Yeah,
because I want to stop, but it's like, for me, I think it's more of an addiction type thing now. Like at first it was like, I'm dealing with it the best way I can, but now I feel like it's an addiction and I can't stop. Like every day I'm thinking about it and I'm like, I have to do it. And it's just something that I feel like I have to do now. And I don't know if it's now an addiction. So
it can be, because of the way that, because of the adrenaline and the way our body responds to pain can be an addicting feeling. Yeah. And Madison's in the same boat. It's very common, and that's part of why we have to try replacing it with other healthy coping skills, which won't feel as good at first, but we can switch over, and it does get better. Cool. So just know that, it's very normal to feel that way, and we can work it out to find other ways to cope that will help you not need to use self-injury anymore.
Okay, cool. Okay. All right, cool. That's all the questions I had. Okay. Thank you.
Well, thanks for being a guest. Of course.
All right,
good to see you, April. Have a good Saturday.
You too.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
I think that's really important, you guys, and I'm glad April asked that question, because I need to talk about that more, because self-injury doesn't have age restrictions, and it can be really hard to overcome it, and it can come and go. Yes, agreed with Kuroniko, that cutting book. I actually have it on my bookshelf. I've mentioned it before, I think. It's amazing. I recommend it to all clinicians when people are like, I have this client, I think they're using self-injury, and I'm tempted to refer out, and I'm like, try looking at this book first, because it really helped. Oh, bye, Keely. She has to go, but I'm glad you were able to tune in. She has the book Cutting. It's so amazing. The book is called Cutting, just Cutting. It's a light teal book. And I forget what it's called. I'll put the link here. Just give me 1 second, and I'll put the link to it on Amazon, so those of you who are wondering what it is can find it, because it's so good. And it was incredibly helpful. Oh, come on. No, I want it in books. It gave me like cutting boards. I'm like, no. It's by Stephen Levenkron. Here, I'm going to put the link. It's a long link, but just, it'll take you to the Amazon place. So anyway, so yeah, I think that will really, really help. And yes, exactly. Brent knows. And Brent also said that this was something for you, April. Brent said that when he was switching therapists, he gave them, like, he kept a little journal about like what he was working on and his recovery and stuff like that. And he gave that to his new therapist. I think that's a really great idea. And I hope I'm saying that right, Brent. I read the comment and then, was listening to April. So I want to make sure I got that over to you. And, I think that's a really good idea. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so Emma's asking, I feel suicidal, but now since I told my therapist everything has been happening so fast, I'm overwhelmed and anxious. Any tips? Do you mean that you told your therapist about feeling suicidal? I'm confused when you said, like, I told my therapist everything. Because if your therapist is worried about you hurting yourself, there are things that we're going to have to do because we're legally mandated to keep you safe, essentially, and do our best to keep you safe. And so I'm not sure. Let me know a little bit more, Emma, and I'm happy to answer that. But Nazanin says, when should you worry that eating disorder behaviors are getting to be a real eating disorder? Honestly, right away. And I know that people will be like, but it's not that bad yet. Why wait till it's bad? Why? Don't do it. Get help soon. The sooner we talk about it, the sooner we work on it, the better. If we're doing anything to use food to cope, that means something else is going on. That means that we're struggling. That means we need to talk to someone. So that's completely normal. Okay? And Jenny's asking, what point do you need a break from work to recover? The truth of it is that if we are struggling to keep up our work, like we're unable to function, that's usually what we say in therapy. Like, is it inhibiting or if it's stopping you or, like, I think it's the technical term that they use in the DSM is like, is it impairing your level of functioning? If I can't function at work and I can't do the things that they're wanting me to do and I'm really struggling, ooh, Decal13 is a new subscriber. Woo, woo. If we struggle for that and we're struggling to keep up with our work and we can't do the things that we need to do, then we need to take a break. Because fighting against it and still trying to keep up and then the guilt that comes along with that and the embarrassment and the shame and whatever, we can talk to ourselves in such a nasty way when we're struggling, it's only going to make it worse. And so if you're having a hard time, then talk to your HR department, whatever the protocol is, talk to your boss and take a break. Take a medical leave. I've written many letters to have my clients take medical leaves, and it's really not that difficult, especially if you work in a big kind of company of sorts, like if it's a chain of sorts. They usually have a plan. It's so easy. It's like I fill out this one sheet of paper. I've seen it like a zillion times. It's pretty easy. I check these boxes like from 0 to 5. How impaired are they in this and that? And it can help you get take a medical leave and potentially get on disability for a short term until we get you the help that you need and you feel better. Okay. And Joseph keeps asking how to ask for help if you're scared. The best thing we can do, honestly, there's so many online resources. I would start there. If it's hard for you to do it in person, I would start online. I would reach out. If you need some peer support, you can go on to 7 Cups of Tea. Oh, thanks, Letitia. Woo, woo, woo. I still have some of your goodies. Not all. I was going to say all, but I already ate some of the goodies. Thank you for sending me that lovely box. But if you're scared to reach out, we can try first by, doing online, getting peer support. There are also online therapists through Skype that might be a little easier and less invasive for you. But if you're really feeling fearful and you really feel like you need some more support, bring someone with you. It's completely okay to have a friend call and make that appointment and to go with you to the appointment. If you're feeling overwhelmed or you're feeling scared, it's okay. But trust me, know that it's never as scary as we think it's going to be. You're essentially going to see someone whose whole job is to help other people. I know it can be scary because you're like, what am I going to talk about? And oh my God, and blah, blah, blah. But we do it all the time. We're here to help. We're here to listen. I promise we're not scary, terrible people. Some people are not good at their jobs, but you have the ability to not have to see that person anymore. And so finding someone who's a good fit, it's more about just like, finding someone who's a good fit and knowing that we're there to help and support. There's nothing scary about it. It'll be okay. I think it's just the fear of the unknown. But I'm here to tell you that the first appointment is usually just like a quick get to know you interview kind of thing. And I have a video about what to expect your first therapy appointment. You can watch that if you're feeling scared. Katarina's saying, is remembering trauma the same as a flashback? No. A flashback is when we feel like we're in it. It's happening again. But having a memory just means we can remember it. We can recall it. We can think about it in the same way that we would say, oh, I remember when I took that trip to Hawaii or whatever. It'd be in the same kind of category versus a flashback's like almost re-traumatizing. It can feel like it's happening all over again. Okay, a few more questions and one more guess, and then I'm going to scoot because my computer always is about to die. And I have some clothing to clean out. Follow me on Snapchat and Insta stories if you're interested in as to what that is. I already have some hanging up there that I'm getting rid of. I think I'm going to sell a bunch of stuff on eBay. Just because I always feel bad like just getting rid of stuff or even giving it to Goodwill. Because some people say Goodwill is not even that reasonable for people. And I give a lot of stuff to Goodwill that like I can't sell on eBay. But I like to sell stuff on eBay. That's where I find most of my clothes. It's like trash and treasure over there and I love it. Okay. Oh, bye, Emily29. I'm glad you were able to come and hang out. Alicia's asking how to deal with PTSD nightmares. I actually just talked with Pantalina about that. Thanks, Laura. Oh, the Let Go app. I'll have to look into that. Thanks, Sadie. Thanks for your help. Of course, Emily, thank you. Woo woo. So, what was the question? Oh, I talked about the Pantalina. And so you can kind of look back and listen to what I talked with her about because there are things we can do before we go to sleep to help out. If we wake up in the middle of the night, there are things that we can do. And I talked to her about that a little bit. So that should hopefully help. Ooh, Kerrigan. I love that name. Thank you for the likes. Okay, Jennifer, good question. How to get a leave for school. I'm in the middle of the year, close to graduation. I'm unable to function a majority of the time. The sooner we speak up, the better. I would talk to your school counselor / teachers and let them know. And I know that it's scary and it feels overwhelming, but trust me, what happens, because I've actually done this around this time of year. Like I had a client, was it 2 years ago? It was the last semester of high school for her and she couldn't do it and it was bad and her grades were slipping and we were having a really hard time. And so we set up a meeting. Her mom called the school and we set up a meeting with the school counselor and one of her teachers. And I forget why it was that teacher. Maybe that teacher was like kind of in charge of, they break it up so they're all responsible for checking in with certain students. I'm not sure. But I think she was also failing his class. So that might be why. So anyway, you hold on, Bree. You don't need to spam. I'll get to questions. Just be patient and wait when I'm done with this, okay? You can stop sending those. Please stop. Please stop. Okay? Okay. Anyway, I'll get to them. Yeah, Sadie's saying they won't always diagnose you. But anyway, so you set up the meeting, you talk with them and let them know. And what they end up doing is, or at least in my situation, I pushed and pushed for them not to have withdrawals on her record. And they were able to agree as long as she completed the rest of the courses by a certain deadline. And so I think we had the summer essentially to make it up. And so that was what we did and it ended up working out. But just talking to your school, there are different IEPs and plans and things that they can do in the midst of things to help if any of you are out there and you're struggling, but you still think you might be able to function if you just had like 1 or 2 less classes. There's those things we can do. But yeah, letting them know, talking to them, and you can withdraw, and then you usually have a 6-month period to make up the classes. And so that gives you time to get help and then finish what you're working on. And sometimes they'll even let you, I've had a client in the past, this was years and years ago, and it was at a private school, so it's a little different, depends, but they offered for her to take the test. There were like 2 tests, 2 finals she was going to have in one project. And she was literally like 6 weeks away from graduation. They're like, if you can take these tests, you have a week to get this stuff together, then we'll just call it good. Like we'll say that you're fine. And because she was doing fine until then, but then it was like her dad passed away. So we had this huge struggle and they were super kind and they worked with us and that worked too. So what I'm saying is the sooner we have the conversation, the better. Okay. Yeah, Shishar, I probably should do a video on it. There's a lot to talk about and, yeah, April, that's right. Just give me a minute. So anyway, I think that a lot of it's just talking to them, letting them know there's a lot of things they can do to help. Okay. Oh, and yeah, and Brent is saying he just forced himself through it and that can be really hard, but often we just don't even really know what to do at the time. Okay, let me see. So there was a question somebody was spamming about diagnosis. Let's see. How long will it take for my therapist to diagnose me? I just started therapy this week. They may not diagnose you. Depends on if you, fit a criteria. But depending on what it is, if it's a personality disorder, it can take a long time. It can take 6 months or more because they need to see a pattern of behavior. Depression, anxiety, some not easier to diagnose, but it doesn't have to be going on for so long. Like depression is just 2 weeks. So those things can take, maybe a month. But give it a few sessions. They're going to need to talk with you more. I honestly think it's, for me, on the earliest would be 3 or 4 sessions in. Okay? So be a little patient, and if they're going to diagnose you, they will. And you can always ask them about it. Okay? I'm going to try Allie Gymnastics to make her a guest really quick here. And then Melinda, I'll have you up next. I'm just going to do back-to-back guests. I'll answer a few more questions, and then we'll skedaddle. Okay, let's see if we can get Allie on.
Can you hear me?
I hear you, but it's just black. Is that cool?
Yeah. I have black tape over it because I was too nervous. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Hey, being resourceful. I like that. Okay, so what's up, honey?
So I have a couple different questions. So one was, I have anxiety and depression, and I've been struggling for a while, and I have really bad separation anxiety. So I was wondering if you had any tips on how to cope with that. I've been having really bad panic attacks since I found out my parents are going away without us. So
where are they? What's happening? They're going where?
My parents are going on vacation without my sister and I. And so I've been
Gotcha.
having a lot of panic attacks about that.
Gotcha. I didn't catch the vacation part. I'm like, where are they going? Okay, so the best way, honestly, to manage anxiety about separation from someone is to put a plan together. I know that sounds kind of silly, but the reason that we're having the anxiety is because of the unknown, and they're not here, and they do these certain things for me, and what am I going to do if I have a hard time? And so talking with your parents about it and putting not a safety plan, but kind of a safety plan / plan together can really help alleviate some of that. And so I would start there and see how you feel. And then I don't know if you're seeing a therapist, but that will be another great resource, is to talk to them about it and to figure out where it's coming from. And because that would be we're taking it one step further. In the short term, creating the safety plan will really help. But then talking with a therapist to figure out what it is about that makes it so stressful for you, so that we can process through that so that this happens less and less. And that's kind of the secondary portion of it. But for right now, I would really work on creating the safety plan so that you feel like you have a structure, you have a foundation that you can work from.
Okay, yeah, that was another one of my questions, was how to tell my parents that I want to go back to therapy because I'm not in it right now.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's kind of goes back to what I'd said early on in the live stream about keeping it simple and just saying that, I was in therapy before and I found it really helpful, and I'm just kind of having a hard time right now. Could I go back? I would really think it would help. Keeping it very short, just like that. And then just say, I would just really love it if you could take, I don't know if they take you or pay for the copay or whatever, and be but that's really what I would like to do. Can we set that up? And then just waiting. I would encourage you not to say too much, because like I said, sometimes then parents get confused and they can think that you need more help than you do. And we really just want you to get into therapy. So you can just say, I'm having a hard time. I'd like to go back. And, especially since they were open to it before, chances are they'll just say, okay. And if your parents are worried, they might say, are you going to be okay? Or what happened? And you can share whatever. You could just say, I'm not sure. I'm just not feeling well. Whatever you want to share, you can, but try to keep it short and to the point so we can get them to get you in as soon as possible.
Okay. I also have 2 more, if you don't mind. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Keep them coming. It's okay.
One of them is, I'm pushing my friends away because I'm, too nervous to go out with them. And, I can't have sleepovers and all that. So I'm just wondering, how can I tell them and, how can I try to get over that fear?
Of, sleepovers and things like that? Being away from home?
Yeah.
I think that kind of goes back to our first thing when I said talking to a therapist about it. Mm-hmm. Because I'm interested more, I mean, you could, however you want to tell, if you want to tell your friends or your parents about it, you could explain, you could just say that it just causes a lot of anxiety. I find that to be the most helpful when it comes to stuff like this. You could be I get really stressed out and I worry a lot. And so it's really uncomfortable and I don't like to do it. People will understand that. And that's the thing is if we just keep it kind of short and succinct and describe our most common or most easy for other people to understand symptoms, they can usually get it and understand what we're experiencing. And then I just ask your parents to get you into therapy, because I'm more interested in where it's coming from and why it's hard to be away and what it is you worry about and when this started. Like, those are the questions that swirl in my head. If you came into my office and were telling me about this, that's what I would want to know more, and work through that, because I think that, well, trust me, this is something that can totally be worked on and it'll go away. We just have to figure out where it's coming from.
Okay, thank you. And last
Of
one.
course.
I tend to get
Yeah.
really stressed when people curse, but I tend to do it to let all my anger out. So I was wondering if you had any ideas why.
I find cursing to be a good expression of anger. I agree. I'm totally with you on that. It's cathartic. It feels good to get it out that way, because it's rah, but when it comes to not liking other people doing it, I don't know. I have a lot of follow-up questions. At first, I'd be like, has it always been this way?
Kinda, yeah, I guess.
Is it a judgment thing on them? Is it maybe sorry, my brain is just running. I'm thinking, maybe, is anger uncomfortable for you to be around? If someone fights in front of you, do you want to run away?
Yeah.
Then my guess would be that it's because you use it to express anger. So therefore cursing is anger to you, and anger is uncomfortable. And we don't like it. And so if we hear someone cursing, we're like, oh my God, they're angry and I don't like it. And it immediately we're like, I got to get out of here. Stop. So that would be my guess with that.
Okay, thank you so much.
Of course. Thanks for waiting. I'm glad we were able to get you on this time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye, Allie. Yeah, you guys, I don't like fighting either, and Madison and Carly and Sadie, you all agree. We can be sensitive, and it's funny when we and sorry, sometimes you guys are just seeing my process as my brain. I'm like, wait, okay, so that's happening, because usually in therapy I have time to think about things, and it's slower, and I talk a lot less. I don't talk that much at all in sessions. I let my clients do most of the talking, but putting my leg out again. So yeah, it just. Sometimes we have to connect it and realize where it's coming from. And cursing, I think it feels good to curse, but it also could be definitely, thanks, Rainbow Lovin'. Guys, almost 36,000 likes. So it just takes a minute to connect it and then be like, oh, that's where it's coming from. That's why. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, Jalen is telling you, Allie, that the black tape was a great idea. I may consider doing it and guesting one day. Yay, if you were nervous, you can totally do that. Thanks, Navana Sparkles. Woo, woo, woo. Okie dokie. Ooh, 100 more likes. Nazanina and 50 likes from Alicia Marie. How come some of them come up in the chat? Is that because we do it below in the little gift thing versus on the screen? I'm always so confused. I've been playing more, spending more time on here. Oh, does Chapters sell the cutting book? I'm sure it does, Jacqueline. I love Chapters, by the way. It's a Canadian bookstore / has everything that I've ever wanted in my life, cool mugs, hand lotion, decorations for the house. I go with Sean's sister every time. Thanks, Letitia. Every time we're there. Okay, so, the 10 likes go in the chat. I see. Stickers go in the chat. Interesting. I've been playing around, watching other people's live streams. I watched Carly's a little bit the other day, and I'm playing around to kind of understand what it looks like for you guys so that I can make things better for you and easier for you. So yes. Okay, 1 or 2 more questions and then let's go. And I really have to pee. Not that you care, but it had 2 coffee. This is empty. I'm just holding this in my hand. What? Okay. Oh, I did miss yours and Teresa's, Jennifer. I'm sorry. April, coming to the East Coast, Sean and I. Oh, bye, Letitia. Thanks for being on, and thank you for, just being part of the community and sending me that lovely box of goodies. Coming to the East Coast, if we do come to New York, it would be New York. We'd come to Manhattan, and it'd be at the end of March. But, Sean's actually going down to work with that client, and we're going to find out if there are... Thanks, Fibro Mom. I know. This is the problem with live streams. I'm like, I gotta pee. Sean's like, we should do 24 hours once. I'm like, for 12 of that, I'm sleeping. So, Sean is calling me. Hold on, let's see what he has to say. I'm still live streaming. I am. Would you like to be a guest? He's calling from the 405 freeway, you guys. Okay, I'll call you right back. Okay, bye. Love you. Bye. He was like, oh, I'm sorry. You're still doing it. Woo. And I was like, yeah. But anyway, Sean has lost his mind. Anyway, but the East Coast would be at the end of March, so Sean just hasn't, it's like, we're waiting to find out if that job is solidified and if they're going to bring Sean out. Because if they bring him out, then I would come so I can see all of you. And so, yeah. So I will keep you posted. Follow me on Twitter for stuff like that. And also like Snapchat and Insta stories. That's where I do like my in the moment stuff. So when I find out information, when I hear about things, that's where I go to like tell you. So I'll let you know as soon as I can. But you know, okay, so Maureen, you're asking about a video on high intelligence. If you want to let me know maybe on Twitter, like in more detail of what you'd like that to be about, I'm happy to, you know, talk about it and figure out, you know, I just need to know more about where you're kind of wanting me to go, because there's so many ways that we could go about it. Are you wanting to know how it relates to mental illness, or are you wanting to know like relationships and how that can affect relationships? There's a lot of things that we could talk about. Okay. Emma says, I told my parents about my deadline plans and I got to put on a 24/7 watch for a while, but now after released, I feel even worse. It's very normal. And Emma, we might consider, if we're having that hard of a time, we might consider a more intensive treatment. And I don't know exactly where you live or what the situation is that, like, sorry, I was reading at the same time. That's why where the situation is that. Like, what? Sorry, Katie. My brain is like, too much. But I'm not sure where the situation is at right now for you and where you're at and what you have availability to do. But I would encourage you to go to a more intensive inpatient. I've had clients who struggle with suicidal thoughts, and we would put like safety plans together and we would do check-ins, and I would check in with their friends, family, roommates, parents, whoever, and it still just doesn't get any better. And so honestly, the truth is that at that point, then I consider putting them in a day program and an inpatient before we do hospital. I always try to look at other options because hospitals aren't always therapeutic. It doesn't always help us feel better. It just keeps us safe, which is like only half of the battle. And so maybe even less than half. Like the safety is just like the basis of it. It's like the bare bones. And so I always try to, you know, put them in a therapeutic treatment center where they can talk about where it's coming from and what's going on, all of that. So I would look into that, because otherwise it's like, it's terrible. And it's just like you're stuck there. Yeah, like everybody's saying, trapped. It's like then you're just locked up and it doesn't really help anything. And so I would see if there's a day treatment program or an inpatient treatment that's like therapeutic. Like one that I've sent my clients to is Sierra Tucson, which is in Arizona. Super amazing. They have like dual diagnosis treatment, addiction treatment, eating disorder treatment. There's this huge, it's because they're in Arizona. They have so much land. They have all these different properties that they work on, tons of groups, super amazing and helpful. Okay. So maybe that's where we go with it, you know, from here on now. Oh, hey, Phoebe. Because otherwise it feels like the hospital isn't really helping. It's not making things better. Therefore, we need to try something different, right? We can't do the same thing and expect a different result. Sierra Tucson, is that what we're asking? What's it called? Inpatient, official Lilac, inpatient isn't hospital. People use that term interchangeably, but here in the States at least, an inpatient can be like in a home or in just like a facility that they've built. It's not technically a hospital, and they don't have like an ER. There's no other things going on in that facility. The facility is only for people being treated for eating disorders. And that's what I worked. That was one of my first jobs in grad school, was at an inpatient eating disorder treatment center, and it was in a home. And so we have the kind of the differentiation between like hospitalization, which technically you could call it an inpatient. I don't, only because it can, like I said, it can just be locked up. It's not really therapeutic. I think of inpatient as a more therapeutic treatment. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Yeah, it's more comfortable than a hospital. It doesn't feel like a hospital. Okay, everybody, I love you so much. I am going to go pee. I'm going to clean out my closet potentially if I keep staying motivated, and I will see you all. I'll have a video coming out on Monday. Woo woo. I filmed 4 videos on, was it Wednesday night? I forget, but they're really good. I'm excited. I hope you love them as much as I do. Many of them you've been asking about forever, and I will see you. Have a wonderful Saturday/Sunday, depending on where you're at. Thank you all for showing up and hanging out. And I will, yes, Melinda, I'll have you on next time. Remind me. Or here, one more guest. I did tell Melinda I'd have her on. Sorry, one more guest, you guys, and then we'll go. I did say that. Thanks for reminding me, Melinda. I forgot. It's because there's just so much going on. We'll see if we can connect with her. See if it will work.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Great.
Is it cold there? You've got your toque
My
on.
hat just has, it's a Bluetooth hat. It has the speakers and microphone in it.
Oh, easy peasy.
Mhm.
Makes it easier.
Yeah.
So what's going on? Good to see you again. Melinda interviewed me, was it this week? Last week? When was that?
Monday.
Oh yeah, Monday for her project at school. So what's going on?
Well, I recently figured out that one of my coworkers is seeing the same therapist I am. And it just really bothers me, especially considering this person has taken my place in the daycare center because she can't work with older toddlers and prevent them from biting each other. So she's in infants now instead of me, and I love my babies. And I want my babies back. So I'm really mad at her right now. And now I feel like I can't talk to my therapist about that because she's also seeing her.
The truth of it is, and I'm just going to be straight about it, okay? I'm going to give it to you direct. As therapists, we're more than capable of handling two cases where they interact. I've had people who happen to be going to the same school program. We are good at keeping confidence. We're not going to say anything. You can talk to your therapist about whatever you need. If that's bothering you and you want your babies back and you don't want to be with the toddlers and having them biting you or biting themselves or others, you can talk about it. It's okay. She'll know, and you're going to know that. But she's never going to say anything. Even if you told her, I know you're seeing so-and-so, she'll say, I can't confirm or deny. I mean, that's our shtick. That's what we say. But I don't want you to hold back in therapy for what you need because someone else is seeing her too.
Yeah.
Because you still need to get what you need. And if this does bother you to that extent, you could ask for a referral and say it's just because I know you're seeing so-and-so and it's hard for me.
I don't want to do that. She's the only therapist I've ever seen, and I've been seeing her for 3 years.
Then keep with her. And then you could tell her, I know she's not going to say anything, but at least then it's out in the open.
Yeah.
And then I would express the discontent about work and know that you still have it's still your time. It's still your therapy and you get to talk about whatever you need to talk about. Don't let that hold you back because it's, like I said, it's still your therapy and still your time. Okay? And let me know what she says, okay?
I'll let you know. And there's one other thing.
Hashtag get your baby.
Yeah. About the person you blocked earlier, I just feel you should have somebody else there when Sean can't be there, even if it's just Carly monitoring the chat. And I also think Sean does a lot for you, and on your next live stream, this is to everybody, how many likes you get, you need to do something for Sean. Sean took you out to Italian, and then Sean danced for us. You need to do something for Sean now.
I agree. Maybe I'll make him dinner tonight, or take him out to dinner.
Okay.
Thanks, Melinda. It's good to see you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, honey. That's true. Melinda is right. Sean does do a lot. And in general, he does a lot. And he's so much more patient than I am. And really, he's better than me in general. The patience that he has, you know? So I wonder what I should do for Sean. Michael's like, Katie dance. Not now. The only dance I can do right now would be the I got to pee dance. Maybe tweet to me some ideas of what we could do for Sean. Should we take him to sushi dinner? Should we make dinner at home? I don't know. What do we think? That's a good idea, Melinda. Maybe, I offered to clean out his closet because he hates his closet. All dirty, but I won't be able to get rid of stuff. I won't feel comfortable, so I can't do that. He loves sushi. That's what they came across the bottom. He loves sushi dinner. He loves being outdoors. If we could afford to, I would take him to Mammoth because that would be he would go crazy for it. I actually reached out to them to see if they had any deals and stuff, and they never even got back to me. Jerks. Get him a new doorbell. That's a good idea. Yeah, the hockey game. Buy him new leathers. I love this. Oh, a massage. I could get a massage. There's this place that actually has a good deal. Oh, Laura thinks we should help clean his closet. An outdoor Canada sushi cake. Oh, a dine-in movie. You guys have such good ideas. Oh, yeah. I don't want to do a GoFundMe. I feel bad, Maureen. I don't know. I'm funny about that because you guys do so much and you help you're the reason I'm able to keep doing this in general. And like Patreon essentially supports, it like pays our rent. And like, you know, it's amazing. You guys are the reason I can do what I do. And I don't know. I always feel bad asking people for, you know, for any kind of money like that. You know, you guys do plenty. And I forgot Nikki wants me to read her message. Thanks for reminding me. Sorry, guys. I forget things when we're doing, you know, when we're in this. So I'm opening it up. And Nikki wants me to read this to our UK members once it loads here. Okay, so on Tuesday, so Nikki says, on Tuesday, I'm going to be reporting the historical abuse caused by my brother, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, Nikki. Let's give it another go. On Tuesday, I'm going to be reporting the historical abuse caused by my brother when I was a teenager. My main reason to share is because I'm in the UK, and I thought that I might have to report via the police. My counselor has actually given me the contact details for an agency separate from the police who I can report it to, and they will inform social services. So I want to encourage fellow UK Kenyans that if you're in a similar position, speak to your counselor or therapist, or even inquire your local citizens' advice. Thank you for letting us know, Nikki. That's super, super helpful. Yeah, I think that it's good to know that there are resources available in other ways that we can reach out. It doesn't have to be through the police, because that can be really intimidating and overwhelming, and police are not always the nicest or the warmest. So, yes. Okay, I love you so much. I'm going to go pee. I'm going to hang out. I'm going to relax, and I have the day to myself because Sean is gone. Of course, Nikki, thanks for reminding me. Sorry, I forgot. And I will let you guys know what I do for Sean. Still going to decide. I'll have to talk to him a little bit. Okay, April, you guys crack me up. I love hanging out with you. Thanks for hanging out with me. I will see you soon. Bye!